and he's promised to show us the hall.
Right.
That's Joo-hee next to him. She'll be playing the piano in the concert, too. Wow, there it is. Avery Fisher Hall. Sure looks big, doesn't it? Maestro Mehta likes to work with the soloists before rehearsing with full orchestra. Every minute spent with him is something really special. I learned so much. Beon is next.
Yeah, you know what happens sometimes here? People run, and then the whole tempo changes. Ta-da, ta-da, beat-em, ba-da, ba-da. Otherwise, the next time you play the theme, you'll see it's a bit too fast. Take again from the other. Yeah. Ba-da, ba-da. Ba-da.
He admires the maestro a lot. Everyone does.
That's right, yeah.
Joo-hee is from South Korea. She's only been in this country for about a year and still learning English. But she doesn't have any trouble communicating with Maestro Mehta. I guess the language of music is kind of universal. Joo-hee's only 11, but her birthday's in a few days.
For ensemble.
Going on stage to rehearse with the orchestra for the first time is very exciting. It's even better when you get to meet Beverly Sills. She's probably done more for opera in this country than just about anybody else.
The three young people are very dedicated to what they're doing. And they're some kind of shining example, I think, for all of us, because obviously all of us can't be great musicians. But whatever each of us decides to do, if we really set our minds to it, we could succeed just the way they have.
As soon as Beon finishes rehearsing, we're all getting into our concert clothes. And then, at last, it'll be time for the young performers. In just a minute, we'll be back for the start of our concert.
The CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People will return after these messages.
Secret Agent Sugar Bear, beware! The wheat freak is after our Super Sugar Crisp.
Roger, kids. He wants my wheat cereal. It's part of this nutritious breakfast.
Super Sugar Crisp.
Going somewhere, wheat freak?
Yeah, Sugar Bear. Gonna scoop up your Super Sugar Crisp in my rocket scooper.
Springtime. Looks like I've got my Super Sugar Crisp, and you're all washed up.
Ready?
What's that? I don't know, but it's got our Tang. Calling Tang! Calling Tang!
Need help, kids?
Use your revealer.
I'm sorry, but I love the taste of Tang.
But we need the vitamin C.
Really?
People need it every day for good nutrition, and Tang has a full day supply in every glass.
It tastes great.
I'll drink to that.
Tang instant breakfast drink with vitamin C and the taste that's out of this world.
There goes the fastest brush in the West.
Who are you?
Bertwell J. Cavity's the name. Let's make some nice hoodie cavities. You don't brush enough. That's a big help.
Never fear, AIM is here.
No, I hate AIM.
AIM has fluoride. AIM fights cavities.
AIM tastes good.
Oh, he's brushing.
AIM tastes great.
He might brush longer and get great checkups.
Bye.
AIM will protect you. Take AIM against cavities.
And now, back to the CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People.
I'm Beverly Sills, and these are the ladies and gentlemen of the New York Philharmonic. This is the 57th season of Young People's Concerts and the 22nd to be televised by CBS. But this concert is very special because it's dedicated to the International Year of the Child. Now, what that means is that this concert is of young people, by young people, and for young people. Now, each year, the Philharmonic goes around the United States auditioning very young and very gifted musicians. Now, you know, we have some rather wonderful teachers and music schools in this country. So you can imagine that the competition is formidable, really very stiff. So we're very proud of the three young people you're going to hear today. They're going to be performing music by master composers who also happen to be child performers. The most famous of these master composers, of course, is Mr. Mozart. Now you have somewhere in front of you a little insert. Take it out. Now, the first picture you see is music. This was composed by Mozart. If you look closely, you'll see there's a lot of mistakes are made. There's a lot of crossing out, a lot of erasing. You can't be too hard on him. He was only 5 years old when he wrote this. The next picture, this is a very famous one. There's little Mozart at the piano. The man behind him is his father, and the girl in front of him is his older sister. He's about 7 in that picture, and he was already on a concert tour. Not so bad, huh? Now here is a little curly-headed boy. He used to run around his house humming tunes by the master composers. And when his mother and father would put on recordings conducted by Toscanini, he would conduct along with the recordings. So even then he knew what he wanted to be. Any idea who this is? Let me hear. Right. Okay. Let me introduce you to the real live grown-up version of this little boy, the music director of the New York Philharmonic, Maestro Zubin Mehta.
Do you know how happy you've made my mother by showing this picture? Who do you think the next picture on your list is? I can't hear you. That's better.
Now you've made my mother very happy.
Is it a coincidence that there's CBS on this one too?
Yes, that's a very nice coincidence. The gentleman there is Major Bose, who was very famous then and had a radio program that went on every week, and I sang operatic arias. But in any case, I think we should show a composition of symphonic stature written by Mr. Mozart.
Well, it fits into the program. Since we have kids performing with the orchestra, we thought we would start with a composition of a great master when he was even younger than the children you'll see today on the stage. Mozart's first symphony composed when he was about 7 years old.
7?
7 years old. And you can already recognize the birth of this master. You can recognize Mozart from the beginning. You can recognize the handwriting of the composer. So we'll do the, you want to officially announce the symphony now?
Yes, indeed. We have to give it its proper due. This is Mozart's Symphony No. 1 in E-flat major.
I can't believe I'm playing with that fantastic orchestra. As soon as the Mozart is over, Beverly Sills will introduce me.
The CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People will return after these messages.
Starburst fruit chews, a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you. Tastes like mouth-watering orange, strawberry too, luscious lemon.
And now, a tempting new flavor, tasty, tangy cherry.
There's a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you in Starburst fruit chews, naturally and artificially flavored.
Okay, gang, show me your mugs. Marshall Mello here. I'm gonna deputize all of you with my new star-studded Marshall Mello Cocoa Mix.
Oh!
Deputy Pam, the packing. Deputy Dan, hot tap water. Deputy Sam, stir.
I see stars, Marshall Mello. Eat 'em up, stars. Mmm.
It's your rootin' tootin' cocoa with marshmallow whooping stars. My stars.
The Crayola Caddy.
It's fun to create with Crayola.
A sturdy orange revolving tray holds crayons for you. Markers, paints, and brushes, and bright watercolors, too. Crayola Caddy. Whatever you need for colorful fun is right before your eyes. You may not be an artist, but for fun you win the prize.
'Cause it's fun to create with Crayola.
The Crayola Caddy comes with everything you see here.
And now, back to the CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People.
Ludwig van Beethoven is another great, great name in music. His romantic style really altered the history of music. He was also a child performer, crackerjack pianist. By the time he was 13, he was a concert organist. And when he was 16, it was arranged for him to play the piano for Mr. Mozart, who was an old man of 30 by that time. The story goes that when Mozart heard Beethoven play, he said, "Watch out for that kid. Someday the whole world's going to be talking about him." Well, I think when you hear our first young musician play, you're going to feel the same way. He's 14 years old. His name is Gustavo Romero. He comes from San Diego, California. He started his formal training when he was about 8, and he studies now at the Juilliard School with his teacher, Herbert Stesson. He's won many, many awards, and he just, well, last summer, finished a concert tour of Scotland. And he's going to play the third movement of Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 2 in B-flat major. Please welcome Gustavo Romero. I have a couple of questions, if I may, I'd like to ask Gustavo. The obvious question is how many hours do you practice a day?
Well, when I have my regular schooling every day, I get about 3 or 4 hours a day, depending on how much time I have with homework.
And what happens when you don't have your regular?
Well, in the summer, that's when I usually have all the time I can, and there I can get about 7 hours a day.
Did your mother ever have to ask you to practice the piano?
Well, no, not really, because I think since the very beginning, since I discovered the piano, I liked it so much, and there's so much piano music that I just spend my time discovering things.
How did you discover the piano?
Well, there was a neighbor's house, and they had a piano, and I was about 5, and I started there while I went to school, and I got familiar with it there.
How many of them play piano here? Lots and lots. And how many hours do you practice? 1. I only see 1 finger. I see a 5, I see a 3, I see a 2. Oh, you're kidding.
How many of you practice without your mother telling you to? Like 4. Thank you very much.
The CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People will return after these messages.
Secret Agent Sugar Bear, beware! The wheat freak is after our Super Sugar Crisp.
Roger, kids. He wants my wheat cereal. It's part of this nutritious breakfast.
Super Sugar Crisp!
Going somewhere, wheat freak?
Yeah, Sugar Bear. Gonna scoop up your Super Sugar Crisp in my rocket scooper.
Springtime. It looks like I've got my Super Sugar Crisp, and you're all washed up.
Sure wish I was moving to the city with you. Yeah, me too.
Nobody knows how you're feeling deep inside. You've packed up all your memories of fun and happy times. You've got what it takes, a new world's round the bend. The city crowd, the city's loud, new things to explore. New places, different faces, will you make friends like before?
Hey, let's go get something to eat. Hey, yeah, and I'm hungry too. Hey, Jim. Yeah? Aren't you coming? Oh, yeah.
Starting up friendships in a place that feels like home. You're the reason we do it. If anybody can do it, McDonald's knows you can.
The CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People will return.
This is CBS.
Look, the year-end special double issue of People magazine with the 25 most intriguing people of 1980.
Let me guess. Ronald Reagan, Goldie Hawn, Mary Cunningham, Sugar Ray Leonard, Robert Redford, Jerry Falwell, Pat Benatar, Lech Walesa, Richard Pryor, Beverly Sills, Dan Rather, Brooke Shields, and a dozen more.
Not bad. Now guess People's extra surprises.
Like how Barbara Walters, Dolly Parton, and other famous people would change their looks, and army brats who've grown up big like Chris Christopherson, and the losers of the year and the winners for 81.
You read this already.
Every word. And you love every word and picture of People's year-end double issue. It's something special.
Happy New Year from Channel 2.
And now, back to the CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People.
Luigi Boccherini was known as the greatest cello player of his time. And when he was just a little kid, his father taught him how to play, but soon he could play better than his father. So they brought him to a teacher, and soon, by the time he was 13, he could play better than his teacher. Well, we have a young cellist today who's not yet 13. He started his formal training when he was about 7. His name is Bjorn Tsang. He was born in Michigan. He lives in Poughkeepsie now. He's studying at the Juilliard School. His teacher for the last 5 years has been Argus Alton. He's won a great many awards. He won the Saint-Saëns cello competition last year. And he's going to play Boccherini's Concerto for Violin, Cello, and Orchestra in B-flat major. Please welcome, nearly 13 years old, Bjorn Sang. ask you the first question. How long do you practice every day?
Well, with my homework, I try to get in about 1.5 to 2 hours on a cello and about half an hour to an hour on the piano.
Oh, you play the piano also?
Yeah.
Very good. I want to ask you, in terms of playing the cello, is the left hand harder because of all the fingering, or the right hand because of all the bowing?
They're about equal.
You mean one doesn't work without the other?
Yeah.
Do you do anything else besides play the cello? Are you interested in athletics?
Yeah, I play a lot of sports, such as soccer and football.
When you're from Michigan and you're living in Poughkeepsie now, you go back to school now, how would your friends treat you after this television?
Well, probably think I'm a star or something.
Oh, really? You think they'll treat you like you're a star? That's terrific. You're going to like that?
No, not really.
Well, maybe it'll pass soon. Thank you very much. Nice to talk to you. For how many of you is this the first concert you've ever been to? Okay. Yeah. How many of you have never been to an opera before? Gotta fix that. Gotta fix that. How many would come to an opera performance like this if you were invited? Good, thank you. Good.
The CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People will return after these messages.
Good peanut butter. Good chocolate. You got your chocolate and my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter on my chocolate. Great!
Two great tastes that taste great together. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Real milk chocolate. Delicious peanut butter.
Delicious!
And Reese's Crunchy with the crunchy, nutty taste of chopped peanuts.
When I fly, feathers get ruffled.
A porcupine.
My name's Poppy.
I wanted to fly south sooner.
Silly goose. And Miss sharing Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pop cereal?
Sugar Corn Pops? Do geese think they're good?
They've got a big, sweet, crunchy corn taste. It's part of this nutritious breakfast.
Geese do think they're good.
Poppy, I like sharing sugar corn pops.
Point is, they're so good, I get goosebumps.
By gosh, by gum, by golly, this could be our folly. A cereal with raisins, rice, and rye.
It deserves investigation, this intriguing combination. The cereal called raisins, rice,
And rye. On this occasion, quite auspicious, I proclaim it quite delicious. And move we wave our good ship bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye. And get back to raisins, rice,
and rye.
Part of this nutritious breakfast, a remarkable threesome from Kellogg's.
And now, back to the CBS Festival of Lively Arts for Young People.
Now, in terms of a name like Tchaikovsky, we have to call him a late bloomer when we compare him to Mozart or Beethoven, because he really didn't decide on a musical career until he was in his 20s. But the piano concerto, number 1, that he wrote, the concerto for piano, is probably the most popular concerto of any concerto written. Certainly the third movement is probably played more often than any other, which is interesting because when it was first brought to the attention of the public, it was thought to be unplayable because it was so difficult. Well, we have a 12-year-old girl who's going to play it for you today. It is indeed difficult. Her name is Jui Soo. She comes from South Korea. She's won many, many awards, has been studying in Philadelphia at the Curtis Institute of Music for the last 2 years. And she's going to play the Tchaikovsky Concerto for Piano and Orchestra, the third movement. Please welcome 12-year-old Juhi Su.
Well, look at that.
I'll ask you the same question. Ask the other two first. How long every day do you practice?
3 hours.
But you see, that's not so bad. You could do it like that if you just play for 3 hours. It's not such a deal. I've always felt that as a lady performer, the best part of the performance is at the end of it when you get to kiss the conductor. When do you go home to Korea?
This winter.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you, and we enjoyed having you very much.
Let's bring on all the other stations. Oh, that's good. Look what you're getting. Put it in his pocket. There. Well, you can whistle as well as they can play. We've got a pretty good team going here.
Go home and practice. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Part of the thrill of performing in a concert is getting to meet the audience in the green room afterwards. Everyone wants your autograph, and they're all so nice, especially when they tell you how good you were. Sometimes it's hard for them to believe you're just a kid, just like everyone else. There's my youngest fan. The wonderful thing about all this for me is thinking that maybe I've been an inspiration to another kid.
And one of them is also H-E-E. Her name is H-E-E too. I'll call her
That's a big surprise for Joo-hee. The CBS crew found out it was her birthday and bought a cake. There's no language barrier when it comes to happy birthday. After our fans are gone, we finally have a chance to relax and talk with Miss Sills and Mr. Mehta.
Repertoire in half an hour.
So now that the concert's over, how do you all feel? Are you happy?
1, 2, 3. Good. Huh?
Good? Do you think you played well, Gustavo?
I always feel like I could do it, better each time. I could do it again,
That's the sign of a great artist. I was looking at the three of them. They look like nice, normal, funny, healthy kids who seem to be enjoying what they're doing. It doesn't look as if anybody's hitting them on the heads to go on the stage to perform.
I mean, I've never seen a person coming to a rehearsal with this kind of sneakers on.
Well, after all, he doesn't have to play the cello with his feet.
No.
Were you happy with the way they all played?
I was beaming, yes. I'm very proud. I have a little stake in all of them.
And now, these messages.
Brush your teeth.
Haven't got time, Mom.
Good. Open wide.
Who are you?
Hurtful J Cavity's the name. By not brushing, you're asking for some nice hurty cavities.
Never fear, AIM is here.
Ooh, I hate AIM. AIM fights cavities and it tastes good.
AIM does taste good.
Now maybe you'll brush. Brushing is as important as fluoride in fighting cavities.
I will brush with AIM.
Bye.
Good girl. Take AIM against cavities.
Crayola crayons.
It's fun to create with Crayola.
You can make a purple lake with fish both thin and fat. Or a happy birthday cake and goofy party hat. Crayola crayons. You can make a ghost to take to funny puppet shows. You can make a spotted snake that grows and grows and grows.
'Cause it's fun to create with Crayola.
Crayola crayons come in this box of 64 different colors with a built-in sharpener.
Starburst fruit juice, a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you. Tastes like mouth-watering orange, strawberry too, luscious lemon.
And now, a tempting new flavor. tasty, tangy cherry.
There's a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you in Starburst Fruit Chews, naturally and artificially flavored.
Here comes George with graham crackles.
10, 9.
Hey, where you headed?
To the moon, George.
Oh, too bad. I was thinking you'd like a little taste of graham crackers and milk.
For breakfast? Wow!
Kellogg's Graham Crackles. It's a special graham taste made light and crunchy.
They're crunchy.
Made from milk?
You think there are any of these on the moon, George?
No, but maybe in the Milky Way.
Kellogg's Graham Crackles.
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
Tonight on The Waltons, a girl follows Jim Bob back to Walton's Mountain with some shattering news. That's The Waltons, tonight at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
He's very shy in this kind of situation. You'd like the music, but he's so wiggly over there.
This is CBS.